Hey guys, so I just got this from my grandma's house. I got this Kenmore Cool N Lite window unit. These are better known as the General Electric Kenmore Cool, and they were quite popular under that name. I didn't know Sears ever sold them, but apparently they did. I also got this big old Whirlpool window unit. I'll make a video on that later. But, so anyway, I'm curious to actually take this thing apart, clean it and everything, because I haven't seen any videos on what one of these things looks like inside. You can see I got the spine fin coils. I got it plugged in. It will start. Fan is locked up. Compressor runs. And I think we got the refrigerant in here too. Interestingly enough, it's got an energy saver mode, which is basically just on and off for the fan along with the compressor. This is kind of interesting to see. It's got a vent, which of course I assume has pretty much zero effect bringing in outside air, but that's typical. Anyway, I'm going to open it up and clean it out and give you guys a look at what it looks like inside. This will be kind of interesting. So the cover comes off. It's got two tabs at the bottom, two smaller ones at the top. I just gently pried with my knife here and here. It comes off, and then this is supposed to be firmly attached to here. Melted plastic things to hold it, like little studs. I'll have to glue that back on because, as you can see, it is broken off. Should be a filter sandwiched in between right here, but it's not there. It has completely disintegrated. You can see this fan is... Come on. Sounds nasty. Needs a good lubricating as I expected. Better than loose bearings though. And this knob needs to be glued on. Actually, I'm not sure those knobs aren't cast metal. Hey doggy. So we got a nameplate here. 1981. May 1981, I guess. That's pretty neat. It says Sears Roebuck, but I know it's actually a General Electric. Energy efficiency rating is 7.5. Pretty bad, but I guess that was good in 1981. And it's 5,000 BTUs. Draws about 6 amps. 665 watts. Not great, but it's pretty neat though. Whole thing is molded plastic, and we have the instructions here. I mean, not instructions, but service instructions. That's pretty neat. So we have the instructions here. Got all the electrical diagrams, and interestingly enough, it actually has details on this side of all like measurements, where everything should be, fan blades, and how to take the cases off, how to test it to see if everything's operating properly. But anyway, it says how to remove the case, so that's nice because we're pulling it apart and we're going to do a good cleaning of these coils and everything, and lube up that motor and see what kind of compressor it has. I'm curious to see. So on the back we have the fan and Kenmore. So I can't call this thing a Kenmore. It's obviously a General Electric. And on the bottom we have the case screws here. Got some on top and some on the bottom. I'll start with the bottom. And a little adjuster thing. As I would expect, the side louvers are just completely trashed. But the thing's 40-something years old. Not surprising. So here is the interior. I don't know what kind of a compressor that is. That is interesting. It's like mounted with a bolt on the top and a bolt on the bottom. And it's got some kind of gigantic coil here. I don't know. It doesn't look like a capillary tube, but it's too thick. I don't know. This is a weird design. Look at all those spine fins. Makes it highly recognizable that it's a General Electric. Fan needs some lubing. But I don't know what kind of a compressor this is. Doesn't have any labeling on it. I'll have to try to look at it from the other side and see if I can figure it out. Very interesting.
Hello?
Take out these wasp nests. Good grief. Thank goodness it's not some of these wasp nests would be something dangerous. Of course, I don't know how many years old these ones are anyway. I don't know how old this unit, I don't know how long it is sat for. So, we got a shaded pole fan motor, it looks like, probably. It's just that kind of shape, but I don't know for sure. And this compressor, I just don't know what kind of compressor it is. It's very unusual. Very unusual. I'm sure it's a rotary, but I don't know what make. I'm guessing it's a General Electric, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll see. I'm gonna flip it. Maybe see if I can take the front cover off as well. These fans need a good cleaning in any case. I'm gonna try to lubricate the motor just through the ends of it though first, if I can. Doesn't look like it has any oil holes. Not that I expect it to. I took this old oil can and did a few squirts on the end of the bearing on this side. On the other side, I took a hose, hooked it to it, and fan sounds good now. I noticed the accumulator on this rotary compressor is very small. Evidently, there wasn't so much emphasis on having an accumulator in these days. So I'm guessing that's the intake. So the discharge, suction side, the discharge is right here. Very different from a modern rotary with it coming out the top. Electrical lines go in the bottom. And so out of the discharge it goes right to the condenser. And from the condenser, we have it going through this coil here. I don't really know what that's for. Unless that's the capillary too. Then the line goes into there to the evaporator. Guess the only way to find out if that's the capillary is to see if it gets cold. So the compressor. There we go. Well, we will see if these spine fins get warm and these get cold. Oh yeah. These are the days before units that leaked. So, got some nice cold air coming out of there. Of course, it's a cold day, so it's not like I want air conditioning, but, well, these fins need cleaning, but yeah, the air feels pretty cold and seems pretty hot here. Let's see, this coil is pretty hot, so capillary must, I don't know, it must be in there. Don't really know what that coil's for then. Yeah, we don't have much airflow through the condenser, so compressor's making a lot of racket. Might be overheating it, so I'm gonna cut that off. But got good airflow and the fan sounds good, so I'm gonna try to clean these coils up a little and see how it goes from there. Maybe pull this cover off so you can have a better look at that compressor, but I don't know how much more it comes apart. I'll probably pull off these side panels because I prefer to use some wood anyway when I install a unit, or some foam or something. So, I'll save them, but I'll probably just pull them off. Pretty neat though, and fan sounds good. Fan sounds real good. Well, it's cleaner than it was before anyway. I might wash these off with water later, but they're decently clean. Got some debris in them that should blow out over time. As you can see, this is interesting because this unit does not contain any way of getting rid of water. Doesn't have a slinger ring or anything. Of course, it'll eventually drip out, and I think it does probably have a drain somewhere, but still, it's just kind of interesting. And you'll notice also, General Electric could double up spine fins. See, so it's a split condenser along here. Over here it's just one, but here it's a split condenser on a little window unit from 1981, so that's just kind of neat. And I don't see any markings on that compressor whatsoever, so I don't guess we'll know unless we took it out, and I'm not going to do that. What make it is, I'm going to look at it with a flashlight a little more, but not much more I can do. Might lube that fan up a little more, and then I'll put the back cover back on, probably. So I can see some numbers on top of this compressor, but that's all I'm seeing. Doesn't really tell me anything about it. Can't see what it says at the back, but I doubt that the make is on there. I noticed these appear to be aluminum lines all over, and like almost some kind of, could be some kind of epoxy holding them together, which is pretty unique. So I've got it put back together. Got a nice cold discharge of air for sure, like really cold. Not a lot of force of airflow, but I'm not too worried about that. Seems good enough. Not a lot of air coming out of the condenser, but the compressor doesn't seem like it's running too loudly, so I think it's probably good. I don't know if I'll use this unit, but I might sometime. It is pretty neat. Anyway, it certainly seems to cool alright.